What if we were to team up and torture him more than anyone ever could?
Sounds great.
What's next? Fuck! I hope you're ready. This next one's a doozy.
Huh? Oh, shit. I forgot about you guys.
Go.
You guys just stood there with the menu screen on repeat waiting for me? How sweet.
Just get going, bitch!
Fuck.
Hello and welcome to Confused Reviews, where Cartoon Drawing reviews movies. And in case you missed our last program, Pinhead and Freddy are in a full swing team-up, making me review movies. For whatever reason. And next up is none other than the 7th Hellraiser movie, Hellraiser Deader. It tells the story of Amy, a journalist who does what else? Uncovers the puzzle box and is terrorized by the fact that the script for this movie wasn't originally a Hellraiser movie, and instead it was scrambled together to ensure another masterpiece after the last 2 direct-to-video sequels were absolute masterpieces. Right, Wayne?
Not.
So, enough backstory, you know the drill. Let's nosedive into another Cenobite catastrophe. This is Hellraiser Deader. What a stupid fucking title. So the film begins in what I can only assume is Frank Gallagher's birthday party, as we see Amy, played by Carrie Wurr, who is smoking for some reason. I don't condone the use of any illegal substances, unless you really want to, but why go to a crack house to smoke cigarettes? Was the way to get into this place reciting lines from Superbad?
Here, McLovin, have a cigarette. Smoke up. Life's short.
She snaps some pics and gets out of there, and while back at her work, we see this little gem. Do crack, right? Anyway, she chats with her boss Charles, played by Simon Coons, who quickly exposes her past endeavors.
You know, it's exactly that lack of respect for authority that got you fired from the New York Post.
And also the fact that she only reports on crap that you see on the front of tabloids. He also explains the deaders by popping in VHS 4 and showing off the same found footage editing skills as that chick in Logan. We also see Winter, played by Paul Rise, who makes the young lady embark on every teenager's favorite game, shooting themselves in the fucking head. Winter then does some necrophilia, you know, no big deal, and eventually comes back using what we like to call on this show the power of bullshit. But the bigger question to me is, who gave them that tape? Actually, this was 2005, so probably posting it on MySpace. She takes the case in Romania and enters a room that probably smells like a gallon of rotten milk got smashed by a dead cow, and wow, that's a really clean knife considering the condition of the rest of the joint. Anyways, she finds a corpse, as expected, and she goes, oh, that's where they delivered my Amazon package. And also snags the puzzle box, so she has something to do while she's on the John later. Oh, and the body jumps alive and looks a lot more Deadite-y than usual. And she just leaves. Whatever. Later that evening, she relaxes with more cigarettes and more videotapes. Oh, and throw that key in the plot pocket. Anyways, after opening the Lamest configuration, some of the worst CGI effects happen as she's grabbed by chains, and Pinhead gives his generic little speech about angels and death and whatchahoozits, and we fake out to a phone call. Don't start that shit up again. Had enough of it last time. While at the subway station, she sees an all-grown-up Georgie, who's having his period, and Mickey Rourke here, who lets her on. The Hot Topic subway. Geez, this place is creepier than anything the Cenobites could ever conjure up. So yeah, Joey, played by Mark Warren, who looks like a disco version of Cheddar Bob, gives the rundown on the deaders. And since I want to get the fuck out of here, let me recap. Lots of boobs, Amy's a dickhead, Winter's apparently not real or some shit, Dwight becomes the new manager, there's some child right next to some guy with his dick out, and Charlie wins the chocolate factory. I might have gotten 1 or 2 things mixed up in there, but hit it, Doc! After escaping that censoring nightmare, she finds the man of the hour anyways, who jumps right in front of a train. Huh, that's funny. Keanu Reeves is fighting Dennis Hopper on top of that same train. A little while later, she returns to the investigation and, and she uses the key from earlier and enters the fucking catacombs just to see a cute little puppy. Bitch, where are you going? Your moneymaker's right there. She then squeezes in between the walls like the mouse in Mouse Hunt, and she's then attacked by more CGI fuckassery. She's also attacked by Rob Zombie's Michael Myers, just to fake out. We see Steve here, flatlining another person, until the two have a civil discussion about the usual life and death Hellraiser crap. Until Amy takes a little siesta and wakes up on the bed that's probably soaked in blood and brain chunks, and jolts awake in Nancy Thompson's bathtub. During the witching hour, she has flashbacks to her painful past and realizes she must have rolled over onto a broken red pen only to head into the can to see someone stabbed her in the back. Literally. She then starts screaming on the floor and is actually doing a pretty good job. I'm so used to a bunch of bland, boring dudes giving monotone performances, so this is nice. She pulls it out like, well, a knife through warm butter, and has given the maid one hell of a cleanup job, and someone we desperately miss reappears. And in a scene with more Doug Bradley than the last 3 sequels, he tells us that he is the only way to become normal again, because Winter is pulling the strings now, which is different. Kinda stupid, but different. After realizing she's alive, but not dead, I know, it's confusing as fuck, but stick with me. She returns to the bang bus, I mean the tap train, and sees that everyone on it's already dead. That or they looked into Pennywise's deadlights. You make the verdict for yourself, because I don't really care. We then see our first non-Pinhead Cenobite, and she hops off the train and finds out she has to join the Deaders to face her past. What? She's taken to the set of One Flew Over the Pinhead's Nest, and we see that this little girl has a real talent for drawing Batman villains. And as she gets out of there, we see that Marla, played by Georgina Rylance, who had 58 seconds of screen time earlier, is doing the same thing every stoner I know does, watching shitty cartoons while sitting around doing nothing. Amy starts tripping out again, flashing back to her creepy beer-belly dad, who she gives a classic knife to the gut just to fall over and wind up where we were 10 minutes ago. But this time, she throws the puzzle box to bring Pinhead back intentionally, who wastes no time giving Winter a brutal demise. Someone at Miramax must have finally gotten the hint of what we want from these movies. And man, this is taking too long. George, help me out.
Slice the fucking thing!
Thanks, Mr. Carlin. Oh, and as collateral, Pinhead also takes the souls of all those creepy goth teens, too. Which I know hearing about that is making the CEO of Hot Topic and Spencer's just shake in their boots, but Amy and the Cenobites have a standoff that Pinhead finds absolutely adorable. And Amy is sick of this movie and just decided to
kill yourself. The fuck? Please kill yourself.
And therefore causes the Cenobite gang to sonic boom to an unholy death. And we find out from a news broadcast that Amy is dead. Not in a symbolic hell like these pieces of shit, but fucking dead. Not coming back, not breathing, 6 feet under, worms in your mouth, fucking dead! Which is nice, having some actual closure for a character in a Hellraiser movie. Oh, and the puzzle box is still around, obviously. Wait a second. That Spike Cenobite never even fucking appeared. Why did I waste my time making him the forefront of the title card? Damn it. And that was Hellraiser, this franchise's dead-er. And what can I say? Realistically, what else can I say that you don't already know about this movie or the last few sequels, to be frank? The Cenobites were shoehorned into a movie that didn't need them, the plot drags along and leaves nothing to the imagination or keeping you invested in any decision made. The plot is more sex-drug bullshit that I'm so numb to anymore, it's not even shocking to see. Oh, and the effects suck, aside from Doug Bradley and the Pinhead makeup. Again, it really shows that Pinhead was a last-minute addition to this movie, just like Inferno and Hellseeker. But unlike Inferno, where it was so dumb that I enjoyed its insanity, and unlike Hellseeker, where I wanted to tear my eyes out the whole movie, Deader is just bleh. It's like a rice cracker. You eat it once and forgot you ate it immediately after. But unlike Hellseeker, this movie has one thing that keeps it above the failing line. Carrie Werr. You can see she's at least trying, putting in at least 10% effort into an acting job. And it's a nice breath of fresh air to a track record of boring protagonists. Plus, the finale isn't the worst the series had to offer, and with all that said, I'm going to give Hellraiser Deader a D-, because with a good lead mixed with a decent finale keeps this movie just above that failing grade.
Now that we've done some of his movies, time to jump back to Elm Street.
Yeah, right. He's doing all the Hellraiser movies.
Over my dead body!
That can be arranged.
You know what? I had just about
Hey,
enough.
fuckheads.
No!
And you.
I'll be back, bitch!
got rid of these two assholes. Where do I put this? You know what? I don't even care. I'll find it anyway. I'm just gonna leave it right there. And now that I'm rid of both Freddy and Pinhead, I need a new slasher series to get my mind off of it. What to choose?